Hello, friends. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm once again with another episode of Win Life Like a Warrior with my another new guest. And as I always telling you that winning life like a warrior doesn't mean that every time you have to go to battlefield and then fight. What I mean to say out here is that winning life means you have to fight the demons within yourself. And those demons are your limiting beliefs, your fear of failure, your regressive attitude, self-sabotaging traits, ignorance. So these are some of the traits if you can fight within yourself and tell you that sky is the limit to achieve. I got a very small framework in this regard that how you can become a warrior of your life. And that warrior, the word warrior, which has got 7 letters. So W stands for that you should have a winning mindset. The next letter A means that you should have an attitude of gratitude. And third letter R is that you should remove the clutter from your life. That clutter could be physical clutter, mental clutter, your social clutter, or the digital clutter. And finally, the next R is after having achieved these 3 WAR, then you can reinvent yourself and you become a version 2 of yourself. The next letter I in the warrior is you should have a personality of inspiring others and even getting inspired from others. Why not? Then the next letter O is that you must overcome your procrastination if you want to achieve something in life. And finally, the letter R is that, which I call it ROTI. ROTI is the return on time invested. You must make use of time in the best way where you can have a wonderful return. So if you achieve all these traits, I'm sure that you can become the warrior of your life. So ladies and gentlemen, today with me is another guest, is a warrior in his own way, that he has achieved quite a lot in a very short time. Though, of course, he has worked very, very hard to reach wherever he is. He is a founder of EST group of enterprises. He is a co-chairman and CEO of EST Global Link, based in Washington, Cambridge, MIT ecosystem, USA. He is also a global leader, speaker, and also he is a poet. He writes poetry as well. He's a doctorate otherwise, and he's the chairman and CEO of EST Capital Switzerland. You see, it's so wonderful to know a person that the place like Switzerland, he has got his footprints. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I welcome Dr. Sindhu Bhaskar, who is my guest today. Dr. Bhaskar, welcome to the show, Win Life Like a Warrior.
Thank you very much, Colonel Raghav, and very good evening to all the listeners and viewers. And I'm very, very honored and grateful to Dr. Colonel Raghav for inviting me here, because he is himself a warrior with all the valiant people and all the courageous people who have been in his list of interviewees. I think I am a misfit, but I don't know what he has seen in me that he has invited me. But anyways, thank you very much once again.
Dr. Sidhu, you see, these live warriors are the ones who have made a little difference to the society, who are impacting the people in the people around them, and you are one of them. So there is no misfit in that. You are doing your job of warrior, and anyone who is excelling and impacting the life of others, I take him, he's a warrior of short. So to go forward, Dr. Sindhu, first of all, I would like to know that in your early life, you spent your days as a student, research scholar, and teaching assignment. Would you like to tell something to our viewers that how was your early life, especially your background, where you come from and all this?
Well, by early life, I should say, it was very much guided by my father, and he was a very strict disciplinarian, and he had a flair for educating others and teaching others. So he did not leave any stone unturned in teaching us and educating us in the best possible manner. Our day used to start with a recitation of all the holy scriptures of different religion, including Ramayana, Gita, Mahabharata, Quran, and all Bible, everything. So that was the grounding from where I started my life. So I had a very wide horizon for myself, and I never looked to a narrow personality trait. And for me, the whole world was a field for me to achieve and work there and achieve and create myself in a different mode. So that is how I have moved, and those values which were inculcated in me by my parents, I very honestly and diligently carried it forward. So even school time was a fantastic time, excelling in studies, in different extracurricular activities, speaking, drama, debate, name anything used to be there, sports. Then college life was again very, very useful and very productive, because that was the phase when I was writing a lot, and lot of, as Dr. Raghav said, Colonel Raghav said, I was writing a lot of poetries also besides my normal studies. And one of my English anthology of poems was also published in World Poet Series. So it was again a very, very productive phase of my life. And
I,
I proceeded with my research journey in Punjab University, and I managed to get some, just for a very short period, some teaching assignment, and then I joined the normal banking career and started my whole banking life.
that's great. That's great, Dr. Sindhu. Firstly, I think it's very nice that parents are the first guru for everyone, and you inculcated your most of the values from there, and where you have been absolute knowing the all religions and everything, and finally following that, and that is why that Vasudeva Kutamba, that the whole world is your family, and you have that kind of values. Wonderful. It's very nice to hear that. So, Dr. Sindhu, after this, your post-graduation and doctorate, you had somewhat teaching assignment and all, then finally you moved into the banking sector. So, what prompted you to finally move into the banking sector? Any specific inspiration?
I was more a student of economic history. So I always tried to think of some sort of different mechanism that we can change the income pattern in the society, and we can remove the different layers in society, so that we can have an equal field with equal opportunities for all. So, and since finance is embedded, money is everywhere. Go to any occupation, any profession, money is there playing its own role. So I thought that if I start with playing money and try to be there, maybe I can create something better for society, and I can do something more for society. And that journey has kept on moving and ticking in a very nice manner. And today here I am with so many things.
Yes, today you are there where you are supposed to be, Dr. Sindhu. That you are now the founder and chairman of this EST group of companies, and there is no denying the fact that there is no royal road to success. You have to work very, very hard, and I'm sure that you have gone through that all obstacles, ups and downs. And one has to be very clear vision, having clear vision, consistent and honest, and along with your massive action, then only you can achieve what you have reached right now. So I just wanted to know one thing. Today is a Guru Parva day also, okay? And we all know that our gurus are the one of the factors who are the reason for us where we are today, whether you, me, or anybody for that.
Mhm.
First guru, you certainly said it was your parents, your father, okay? But whom would you like to give another credit where you are right now? Because today the Guru Parva day, and you may like to mention somebody in your journey who was instrumental in guiding you that, or you may like to pay the gratitude.
Yes, of course. It was Dr. Kamal Sheed, who was my guide and supervisor, and he had returned from US, from Wisconsin University, and his whole family was full of professors and teachers in US. So he had a very different outlook and orientation to the subject matter. So, and since he was based in US, so what happened that his style of working and looking at different topics and analyzing them was different from the normal Indian style. And it had more focus to socio-economic constraints and socio-economic aspects, and how all the socio-cultural and economic aspects were interacting and integrating with each other to create a systemic uh, 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 force in any society. Those things he guided me, and that was the phase, I should say, which gave me a very solid foundation.
Okay. So wonderful that you recall him and today's day, and he will be, if he's listening somewhere and will listen later, he will be very happy that he gets some credit for your all the success in life. That's fantastic. Dr. Sindhu, that another point which I would like to discuss is that anybody who start the career, especially from the middle class, because normally we all are from the middle class, he goes through the various stages of life. The first and foremost stage is the survival stage. When you start working initially, you are just surviving paycheck to paycheck and month to month. Then you become little senior, then become into the secure stage. You are little secure. You have some assets with you, and then finally, when you become a CEO or something, you become a success stage. But there is another stage which finally comes with the significance stage, when you start impacting the life of others. That is the ultimate stage where you help others. Means you have achieved whatever you want to achieve, but with that achievement, you are also bound for the society to help them. So in that context, you are already in that stage, if I can say so, because you are the creator of this EST platform. Because I believe this platform doesn't have any pure business or the profit-centric model philosophy, unlike our legacy banking system. So somehow you wanted to help those poor or those unprivileged people who are not in this banking system. How would you like to say that for the common people who are listening, who are the people who don't know much about the banking system, that how it is going to help them?
First, I would like to say that, of course, no one is rich, no one is poor. One who is poor is also rich in some faculty.
Yes.
One who is rich is
Yeah.
poor in certain faculties.
Yes.
So it is only the time factor which is managing your status and your position. So I will say that, okay, those who were unprivileged or underprivileged, we have to bring them to a normal state wherein they can have a normal stand to take a lead. Because if you don't give opportunities to others, then you are not creating a perfect future generation for your country or for your society. Secondly, I think everyone is at war with oneself all the time, because the hunger to achieve never subsides, never dies. So everyone is all the time thinking, scheming, and planning to achieve more and more. So, of course, even when you are CEO, you will like that I should be called the best CEO. If you are trying to become the reach the next stage wherein you are going to impact, you will always think that, okay, I should get the Nobel Prize for doing such great things. So human desire and want is insatiable. It keeps on moving all the time. But of course, within parameters and within realization of my own, I should say, capacities, I am trying to do whatever I can do to impact others. That is why my platform is fully an impact platform. And when you said that I don't care for profit, no, I want to build a self-sustaining model which should be able to create impact. Because if my unit or my platform is not able to create any revenue, then it will collapse. So in any business, I have to have a sustainable revenue so that I can manage, I can stand on my feet. I do not have to go to market all the time to borrow money to make myself stand. And at the same time, my work should be in such a manner that the tiers of the society should be obliterated. That's why BranchX is working towards migrant communities. My next neobank, which I'm calling it Neo, it is trying to create advantageous situation for students, women, MSMEs, and farmers. So all different pillars of my platform, they get connected to this neobank. And all my different pillars are interacting with each other. That is why they are creating a huge ecosystem. And when they are working in different tier 3, 4, 5 centers, it creates an impact. It creates the desired result. Just to give you an example, FAB, which is called a FinTech and Blockchain Association. Now, in that, I'm trying to create digital awareness of students. Of course, those who are in cities, they do get that information, they do get that knowledge. But those who are in tier 3, 4, 5 centers, they do not have that information. When we talk of financial inclusion, how can we create that financial inclusion when there is no knowledge inclusion? So you have to create that knowledge inclusion. You have to go to those areas. That's why that's what the role of FAB is. We are trying to create that knowledge inclusion. And when I am creating a pool of people and students who are digitally empowered, they are the real futures. They can turn the face of the country to a better, say, smiling era of prosperity and happiness. So that is what my agenda is, and that is what I am working for. And even those students who are working with me, I'm trying to create paid and unpaid internship opportunities so that they can get even on-job experience. And if corporations are happy with their work, they can absorb them also. So it can provide them employment so that when they are studying, it must have some meaning. You should not have knowledge just for the heck of knowledge, because you have to earn your livelihood. So these are the focus areas on which I'm working, and I'm trying to stick to those agendas.
That's a novel cause, Dr. Sindhu. And in fact, Dr. Sindhu, you being a banker and talking about the financial inclusion and other things, the one of the thing which I see that in the mediocre mindset, normally the mediocre people generally the thing or they have of the view that money is the cause of all the evils, which is not the case. Money is just an instrument of exchange of value. So the people somewhere you will find that they think that more money makes you criminal or more money will makes you a bad person. Whereas the money is just a neutral, rather it makes the good people, the best people, means it makes him do better jobs. And sometimes the bad people become the worst because it will give him a more power to do the bad things. So what is your take on that?
What I will say that I treat money as agnostic. If you have your cultural values ingrained yourself,
Yes.
and if you are part of that cultural ecosystem, which has strength, and which is standing with full bloom, you cannot uh, move from this side to that side. All your agenda, all your actions will move towards that, gravitate to that center. So until unless we have that focus of mind, wherein we talk of helping others, humanizing society, doing good, accumulating values for oneself, what anything can do. Even forget about money. Even if you don't have money, at times you see people who get more muscular power. They
Yes.
try to boss around. They don't have
Yes.
money, but
Yes.
they have muscular power. So whatever sort of superiority you get, you try to boss around and you try to dominate others. So, but that is why I talked of cultural ecosystem in which you will have the cultural stakeholder relationship, that everyone is equal, everyone is part of you, you are part of others. That sort of concept, when we talk of our Hindu scriptures and Aham Brahmasmi, like I am the ultimate. So
Yeah.
everything is within me. So when we think that everything is within me, everything is, I am part of that entity, then you don't think of bossing around. You become more humble and more docile, and like a fruit laden tree, it will
Yes.
bend.
Yes.
So like that you will have. But all other things, if you are not stable, other things will definitely destabilize you. So I don't think money and all will corrupt anyone. If
Yeah.
you have basic problem in yourself, anything can corrupt you.
Very rightly said, Dr. Sindhu, and that you already said money is agnostic or money is neutral. It is your values which makes a difference. How you have been
Yeah.
brought up and how you think. It's your mindset. So money cannot neither make you bad or the good. It is your value system which makes you good or bad. Very rightly brought out, and I hope my viewers must have uh, given a thought to that. Dr. Sindhu, that since you are leading an initiative to impact most of the world population in the rural and farming sector, that is what I have gone through your profile. With an initiative beginning in India first, and where two-thirds of the Indian population needs intervention, financial inclusion, and development, which is the key to the sustenance. As a part of your vision, you have created a digital banking platform to mitigate this problem of basically the farmers. So, could you just elaborate how this platform, which is your branch X for the India, which you have created, will help the farmer to get out from the clutches of this profit-hungry banks? Because there are a lot of, the societies of the farmers and other things. How exactly means, if you can tell in the layman terms where the people who are listening, yes, here is a one person who is bringing something as a technology which can help to an extent to solve this problem.
Okay. For that, first let us try to analyze what are the basic problems of our Indian agricultural economy or Indian rural countryside. Okay. Indian rural countryside or rural India does not have its own economy. It is dependent on urban economy, which is guiding. That is why all rural economy is dominant of migrant labor. Okay,
Yes,
all
yes,
people migrate to cities to earn their livelihood and they send money, and that is how rural India operates.
yes,
Farmers are there, but then if you analyze their land holding, again, few people are holding maximum acreage of land. Most of the people are agricultural laborers. Now, you have to really focus on those things. First, composition of rural society. Second is nature of your agriculture. It is dependent on monsoon. It is dependent on water. So how you have to devise a framework and a real working solution that agriculture can happen and it becomes earning occupation for farmers. Thirdly, again, choice of your products, what you should produce in those areas. And we must align it with the hydrology and meteorology requirements of that area. What are the features, hydrological features and meteorological features? Accordingly, you should align your cultivation strategies, which we don't follow. Fourthly, we never try to experiment because the old mindset is that whatever we are doing, we are doing. And fifthly, the biggest problem is that government subsidy, loans, grants, those things create a dependency mentality in farmers. So even they don't try to innovate. And internationally, if you talk, there are so many international factors like ESG now, which is the latest fad of ESG, then carbon credits, that all those activities have to be carbon neutral, then SDG goals, all those things add fuel to the fire. Now, what happens? There are hundreds of, I should say, multiple agencies to provide financial support to farmers. But what is there? Firstly, by the time funds are disbursed to farmers, a lot of time has already elapsed. So what happens? They don't get timely agricultural input. That becomes another issue. By the time they have to return the money, the fields have been sown and reaped and harvesting has been done, but the products are still to be sold, or there has been some failure or something. Different types of pressure can be there, but it is capped by repayment, return of the loan pressure. And that is where farmers start committing suicide. Now, for that, what we have tried to do, of course, in branches, we are targeting migrant economies, migrant people. So we are trying to make their fund movement very quick from their working areas in cities to rural centers. So it is basically a phygital model, and we have agent system there. So where bank branches are not there, so there are agents who work as human ATMs, as we call them. So they, in a way, fulfill the requirement and need of people by making funds available to them when it is transferred from cities. Or whenever they require any money, they can just make a call. Their relatives from cities, they can send money and immediately it can be made available to them for during any emergency. Same way, the new neobank which I'm going to start, that will be catering to farmers. That in that the scheme is that whatever loans we are creating for farmers, we are going to create it for 5 years, a long-term loan, so that even if there is any failure in crop, failure in monsoon, or whatever be the situation, they can repay their loan in 5 years. Because if second year failure of crop, they cannot repay, no problem. Start working, whatever government subsidy is coming, grant is coming, use it for new set of agricultural operation, and then let us wait for the third year. Crop will be very good. That can be again utilized for payment of the loan, like that. Then we are trying to create an aggregated model for providing all these loans, wherein all different agencies can come together so that there is no cluttering of financial institutions, and that way they are dividing their responsibility and it becomes no one's responsibility. So if you try to collate them and bring them under one umbrella, everything will become very cohesive and very, very determinant. So that is what our EST Agrex is all about. And that divides the whole agricultural occupation and practice into three parts of EST, agriculturist farmers as producers of crop, farmers as seller of crop, in which we are providing them all the real values and real market prices of different markets so that they can decide where they can sell.
Okay.
That will give them better return. And even government price is also there. So if they see in this particular, say, lentils, if government support price is more than the market price, they can go and opt for government support price. But they can also see lentils, which area is having a shortage of lentil. They can sell in that particular area. It is not important for them to sell in their local area because they can have a better pricing there. And this type of cohesive agriculture marketing will also create price stabilization overall. And it will give a better returns to farmers. And the third sector of the, or say the gradient of the agriculture application is farmers as creator of wealth. So when you create better pricing for yourself and better return for yourself, you are accumulating deposits, capital. When there is personal capital, it will create and lead to stakeholder capitalism. That means all those people will combine together and create a rural capitalist economy, which will again become independent of urban economy. So agriculture will become in real sense, a tool for rural transformation and rural economic regeneration.
So basically, it's the creation of the capital and then circulate that so further develop the economy.
It is creation of capital, rotation of capital, and then creation of further capital.
So this entire process, all the modules will be in this one application, that EST branch X?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Not EST branch X, it is EST Agrex, and it is already available on Google Store. Okay. And we are now targeting different areas. And even our hydrological and meteorological study is very, very impactful in the sense that we are making full projection of following subsequent years, that what will be the nature of rainfall, what will be the climate. Accordingly, we can make our farmers understand that, okay, next year we are going to have this type of weather. So if you make this sort of cultivation, that will be better, this crop, that crop. So crop interchange and all those things can be done.
Dr. Sindhu, just me to understand this modules or these applications which you are talking about, how the farmer physically going to use? Does he have to have that his internet connection, or how he's because I am from a rural background, I know that how the farming is done, how the farmers are there. So how they will make use of it? If you can tell in a very simple way, in the layman's way, that farmer इस application को कहाँ download करें, कैसे use करेंगे, how they will make in the practically use. Technologically is perfect.
Right. See, again, I will say, in India, we have everything available. The only thing is, it is not going to correct hands and it is not marketed or made available properly. We have Gram Sakhis. We have even EST has got a agent model. Those people are the educated people of those areas who know all those rural people. Now, you know, technology is like this, that all these apps are available on your mobile. So these apps are available on your mobile. If farmer is able to do it, well and good. If not, we have from government side, Gram Sakhis. We have from EST side, our own agents who are assisting them. And we are not trying to rule out any center which can be of help to farmers. If say NGOs, very good NGOs, reliable NGOs and well-known NGOs, if they are partners, we can make them as the nodal center. That yes, here you can have all these facilities and they will help you and guide you. So we are just trying to use their own people, their own system to make it very, very easy for them. Not that the technology should look alien to them and they should be again worried and afraid of using it. That we don't know which way it will go against us. And then they should not have that type of feeling.
So basically, what I could gather by now is that when the farmer goes to the conventional bank, when he try to take a loan, it takes time for him for the delivery. That time can be cut down. Then
Yes.
also while paying it back, again there are options for him that instead of same year he can pay it in the 5 years, so that the losses can be averaged out if there is some natural calamity or something.
Right.
Not first year, then second year, third year. So it can average out
Right.
in the 5 year and can. So this is another benefit the farmers will get. And other things you are talking about, that the information which it will provide, this platform will provide about the when you want to sowing or when you want to, means all kind of information related to the farming. So that is another benefit which I understand. Am I correct?
Even
on
we
this?
are connecting. Even we are connecting overseas buyers to this app. They are connected. Even logistic suppliers, providers are also connected. So if they have to send it, say from place A to place B, they can go to truck operators and they can say, okay, which are the operators available here? So they can use that operator and send their product from this place to that place. And all the pricing and then tracking of their movement, tracking of even their product, that in which field it was sown and who looked after it, what sort of fertilizers were used, all those things are there. Even drone mapping of area.
Okay.
And when they are registering on our application, the onboarding process is, of course, we have made it elaborate so that we can have a very pure data of all the people of that area. And it also serves as full data available for lending money to any farmer.
Dr. Sindhu, one more doubt which I just cropped in my mind. Once we are talking about that farmer can sell to even the abroad and overseas, they can see the market and plan their produce there. Under the circumstances of that new farming policy not being implemented, still your platform or this application will be of helpful to farmers?
See, of course, there was heavy protest against the government regulations. I will not like to talk about that because that is all over. But what farmers had to do, and if they had to sell to local people directly as P2P marketing model, they were doing. It was not that they were not doing it. Even now, there are different organizations who are working for marketing of agricultural products, and they are working with it. No one is opposing that. And when people will see that they are getting benefits, I don't think anyone will oppose it.
So it's not going to be hindrance in the way of functioning of this thing. Perfect.
I want to be. I want to have a very docile system, which is appreciative of all genres of sections of society, and not in antagonistic to anyone.
Okay. Now, Sindhu, one more thing which comes out is that so far this conventional banking has been the backbone of our economy, and it's always remained a big source of development as well. But there are players, basically the banker owners, and this thing, they have been multiple cases where they have been very greedy and that corrupt, and the fraudulent thing has happened. You know that what may happen to the Yes Bank or the even ICICI Bank CEO and other thing. So those kind of thing, especially using your platform, can those be mitigated and ruled out so that ultimately these frauds and losses already, finally, it is the common man who pays for it, because the bank money, whatever is there in the banks, it is all public money. And once such kind of fraud takes place, it is the effect comes to the common person. Though may not be aware, common person doesn't come to know, but of course, at the end of the day, it is on him. So how do your system can solve this kind of issue?
See, we are talking of blockchain-based banking.
Yeah.
Okay, in which there is going to be trust, because people have lost trust with the financial system because of the evil or say the vices of the system and how people have behaved with the customers.
So if this blockchain part, if you can let us know in a very simple term without involving too much of technical, so that common man who is listening can understand, yes, how it will happen.
Yeah. Now, again, all transactions cannot be placed on blockchain, because where multiple parties are involved, you can place the transaction on blockchain. So like investments, like your overseas trade and like trade settlements, these things, bond issuances, these things can be put on blockchain, but normal accounts, opening of account and putting in money, taking out money, that is not required to be put on blockchain. Blockchain is record of different or say information blocks which are connected to each other. It records all the transactions of the account, and since it is available with different terminals and different nodes, different parties, it becomes unchangeable in the sense that not one can change it as per their whims and as per their likeness. So the event of fraud can be mitigated and reduced. For committing a fraud, the whole block will have to commit a fraud altogether. If the records are on say 6 nodes, all 6 nodes should align together to make a fraud, which does not happen. So this way you can block the frauds. As neobanks, we cannot block it because we are dependent on the license of the main old banks, and they have to adopt all these measures. Then only it can be blocked and checked. And overall, see, everything, whatever we are creating is human created and human driven. Yes. If we don't have our virtues in us, yes, we cannot make even our technology virtuous. As simple as that.
I agree with you. I agree with you. That is very important. Means the values has to come from within, and
yes,
if the creator himself is corrupt, then how can you help him? How can
the created will suffer.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. So you brought out the point of this neobank. This is not feasible, but I believe you are already in the process of starting the banks in the multiple countries of Africa and South America, and where I believe you have already taken the licenses in the 5 countries. So would you tell something about that?
Okay, we have taken a couple of licenses, and we are still working also on them and trying to get fully regularized. They are in Africa, Latin America, and Puerto Rico also. So, but they are still to be activated. Work is going on. These things take a whole lot of time. I have like put in nearly 2 years, and still it is in the, and due to COVID, everything has got haywire, so that is taking extra time. So in the meantime, what I have done, I have put my focus towards health sector, healthcare. So we are going to very soon launch our automated health unit, which can provide affordable health uh, services to, again, lower income people. So that's the basic aim, that we take it to remote areas where health services are not available, and there people can have
So this is in
health
addition to the bank.
facilities.
This is in addition to the banking
Exactly.
services.
I told you that my EST platform has got 4 pillars. One is banking, other is agri-tech, third is health tech, and fourth is ed tech. So I'm
Okay.
working on all these basic things
Okay.
which can create real change in the society.
What was the fourth one you said?
Ed tech, education,
Education.
which is
Okay.
fintech and blockchain association.
Okay. 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 Got the point. Got the point. So basically, it encompasses the entire development for the common man, or you can say.
Yes, because we have to have a very, I should say, very focused work towards regenerating the society and regenerating different tiers, because this pyramid model has to change. It has to become a diamond model, and that will be the real workforce to create, say, $10 trillion economy or $30 trillion economy, whatever we talk of, because that will create the creativity and productivity in the society.
Fantastic. So this diamond model will be seen in India also sometime soon.
Of course, everyone is working. We are more than like 1.3 billion people, so it cannot be done overnight. But yes, we have to keep working in that direction, and there is not far that we will definitely get it. You see how China progressed, and in 30 years, 40 years, where they are. So why can't we do it?
Yeah, but
If
are
we
they
have a
using,
better model?
they are using this kind of model, something like that?
No, they had a very focused model, and their government system is different. That is why they could achieve it earlier. We will achieve it slightly later because our government model is different. And democratic model is always not always very conducive to focused development, because there are a lot of views, lot of minds, lot of clashes also. So things become slower. I don't say it is bad, but I say things become slower. That is why you will take lot many more years to reach there, rather than those countries which don't have this type of model. Of course, they also say they have democratic model, but they have a more centralized democratic model than ours. So that's the basic difference.
How this term EST came from, Dr. Sindhu?
EST stands for empathy, security, and transparency. So, so empathy is the first term, and that is what we are working on. Security is what we are, all our applications are trying to be very secure in themselves, so that we do not fall prey to hacking and all that. And transparency, that whatever we do, it must be transparent. So that's why in our agri-tech, in the buy, like where there is a trading thing, farmers are selling their product. That part is supply chain management, which is on blockchain. And we are doing more. We are trying to create a rural verse there, wherein farmers can meet the actual buyers from anywhere on metaverse or rural verse, as we call it, and they can actually see their plot or the product as the real reality. And on the basis of that, they approve the transaction, and then smart contract gets executed, and everything moves there.
I am pretty sure the viewers will appreciate the term EST, because it symbolizes that your vision and how you want to impact the people. So it is empathy, security, and the transparency, rather trust. And if I think this get implemented, wherever it get implemented, whether for farmers, banking system, or the education, or the health, it will make an impact. It will make an impact.
No, by grace of God, we have been blessed that wherever we are going, we are creating a good name for ourselves, and we are getting very good following from people. Even in FAB, we have 6 universities and colleges who are already, they have created JV with us, and we are working with them. Their students are doing internship with us. So, and they are so happy. So we are very serious in whatever we are doing. Branch X is working superbly. Now we have opened the third office in Mumbai at Vashi. One is at Noida, second was in Kerala. So we are trying to do everything in the best possible manner and in a real earnest manner.
All the best, Dr. Sindhu. Means I'm sure this you will succeed, and the countries wherever you are implementing this will bear the fruit of happiness, I must say, at the end of the day. And Dr. Sindhu, beside the technology, I read that you are a poet as well. You have written poems and you have made a collection of the poems and published somewhere. So
Yeah.
let us know a little bit about that. And if any of your very favorite poem, you will like to recite few lines of that.
Oh, that's very, very difficult because I don't remember any of my poems right now.
Okay.
With all this technology, I think I'll have to put my poems on some NFT, create some NFTs against that and keep them in front of me to recite it. But anyways, since my school time, I was fond of writing poems. So I have nearly 500-600 poems till now.
So this is Hindi or English?
No, all English.
All English.
Hindi also sometimes I write वो भी लिख लेते हैं कभी कभी, but
Okay.
mostly in English.
Okay.
And couple of the one anthology was published in World Poet Series. In so many other competitions, global competitions, I received award also for my poems. Asia Pacific Poetry Competition, and I was also member of Poetry Society of UK.
Okay.
So all those things keep on going. That's my hobby. And
so did you find time
whenever
for
I feel
now?
like,
Did you find time now also to
yeah, every time. See, the time you have to
Yes.
fractionalize your brain
Yes.
and target it to different activities. So if you have fractional brain, you can do anything. So time management, so I call it brain management. If you do brain management, you can achieve anything.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Basically, what I say is that the moment you replace the spending with the leveraging the time, then you can do whatever you feel like. So it's you have to leverage the time rather than spend the time. And you rightly said that you have to control your mind rather than the time. Because time to jayega, every second it is going. You have to manage that. Finally, Dr. Sindhu, would you like to tell our viewers or listeners anything about the financial system, how they become a financially confident or financially independent, or how they achieve financial freedom?
Who?
Viewers, listeners.
Oh, viewers.
Yes. What any point which you would like to give a wisdom, a point that by way they can become a financially independent or finance freedom, or how they live their life, because most of the people are not even aware that there is something called financial independence or financial inclusion.
Okay, there cannot be one simple prescription for everyone because our society is multi-tiered. So those who are at the top, they have different prescription. Those who are in the middle, they have different, and those who are at the lowest, they are totally different. So whatever I've been discussing till now was for the lowest segment.
Yeah.
Because now the reform has to move from below. It cannot be reformed from top, like the trickle down theory. So that we have covered. Now for middle class, I can only say technology has created a different environment altogether, and it has created a new integrated economy within the local system itself. Not, of course, we are globally connected. That affects us also. You can see how the war, European war, is affecting us, and what is happening, and all sanctions, how they are affecting us. So, of course, those external factors will always be there to affect our economy, which is again beyond our control. Even if I am the best possible statesman, global statesman, even then I cannot control all these factors. But within the domestic economy, what I will say, we have to be watchful and we have to keep an eye to the external factors and understand the movement of rupee or our currency vis-a-vis external factors. And that is what will give us stability in our economy. We should not try to be again try to take things for a chance, or we should not be try to gamble our efforts that okay, let us try to see what it creates, what it gives to us. Or if stock market is going up and up and up, and you start just moving with it, that okay, I will become a millionaire, billionaire. So control your urge, do long-term spending, long-term investments, and try to see how economy is moving, which way you can manipulate your ways to create some more funds. But don't try to have short-term gains and short-term moves to create money, and that will rattle your economy. That will be problematic. And with technology now, there is concept of ecosystem. So try to have your investments also tied to that ecosystem. Have a basket of investments so that if one goes down, other can pull you up. And for crypto, I can only say be very watchful.
Yeah.
I'm not against anything. We have to move with time and tide. So, but try to give it a long shot, not a
Yeah.
short-term gain measure.
Yeah. Short-term gain is always not
Yeah.
advocated, never advocated. Even in anything.
Right.
There is no gain without the pain, so you have to have a long-term issues always.
Right.
Do you think, Dr. Sindhu, this recession coming in again, being in the financial
Well,
sector?
well, everyone is saying, and of course, chances are very, very bright for that also, because see, I am one, I don't know about others, but I feel there is no need of sanctions, because by creating sanctions, you are trying to create a whole whirlpool in the economic system wherein everyone tries to fall and everyone gets subsumed by that. So there should be some other way of boycotting countries and all, or say punishing them, but not this all this sanction and all that. Those are the things which are taking us faster to recession and all that.
Thank
So
you so
there
much.
are very bright chances.
Yeah. So very, I think transparently and forthrightly you answered all the queries, Dr. Sindhu. And I'm sure that my viewers, listener must have got quite a lot value today as far as the financial system, banking system, and the new banking system is concerned. And Dr. Sindhu, on behalf of my viewers and the listeners, I thank you so much for sparing your time and answering in such a simple way without involving too much of technical jargons. You enlightened us. So I must thank you for that.
Thank you very much, Colonel Raghav. And again, I'm very honored to be here. And because I see your list of guests, they are all top service people. So I think I'm one of the few non-service people who are being interviewed by you. So thank you for this honor to me. And thank you, listeners and viewers.
But just correct you, my service people in my list you will find are even less than the normal people. But yes, topic has been a little varied. But service people are still lesser. But they, of course, they are there. There are many people from the outside. But all said and done, thank you so much.